Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Maddie Makes. It's the end of July, so we're just finishing up Tour de Fleece, and I was just finishing up skeins some plaid yarn this morning that I finished yesterday while the tour was still going. So this week I have a little bit of sewing, some spinning, and a little bit of progress on knits. I thought I was done gift knitting and then remembered I have one more baby gift I need to have done by this weekend. So we're working on that. Let's start with sewing. So we went to an outdoor music festival the other weekend, and it was going to be super, super hot. And I don't do well in the heat, so I knew I wanted to wear something pretty lightweight and comfortable. And so I made myself a super cute little tie side top out of a linen top sheet that we don't use. So for this pattern, I followed the neckline and armholes of a ready to wear tank top that I already liked, and the neckline didn't really stretch out while I was putting it over my head, so I used that for that. And then also kind of use the upper or tank line cutout of the sid tie top just to kind of finish off my do-it-yourself tank, I guess. And then I just cut out 8 ties and some bias binding, I think that's what it's called for sewing too. And so for the sides, I did follow Sid Graham's video for the ties. Kind of. I thought I could do it myself and ended up having to rip out a side twice. So, but in the end, it turned out super cute. It was super comfortable. I might make another in another color. That would be fun. I used one of my of June labels, and it's supposed to be folded and just you put it on the edge or inside of something, but I sewed it flat and then kind of quilted around on the back for cute little detail. So very happy with how that turned out. And then this last week, we've been really busy on the weekends, and that's when I usually am able to sew. So last week I made a bandana for one of my sister's dogs. I have 2 sisters and they each have a dog. And we were dog sitting one for the week, and my sister kept saying he's at Wisconsin summer camp. So I went with the theme and made him a bandana for his craft. Definitely I'm gonna tweak the design before making more of them, but it turned out super cute. I'll insert a photo of him wearing it. He's home now, but I hope he loves it. So let's move on to knitting. I just finished Tour de Fleece, so most of my free time I've been spinning. I've been working on my Avenue tank a little bit. I haven't really made any progress. I connected, this is the front sides. So I connected and knit very few rows, but this I do want to finish to be able to wear for, August, September. It's still going to be warm. I didn't put it in my bag carefully, so I get to pick up those stitches later after this. And then I knit an emotional yarn support chicken for my friend's son's first birthday. I'll include a photo of that. I used some brown yarn left over from a sweater, and it was the Knitting for Olive worsted. And then I had a little bit left of a worsted yarn in the colorway Stars Hollow from Treehouse Knits. And her and I both love Gilmore Girls, so I had to include that. And then I did a buccal yarn for the head and whatever this thing is from Explore Knits, so it looks kind of feathery. And then I just started this weekend another gift knit. My husband's cousin is pregnant and asked if I would make one of, the kind of trendy baby sweaters for them and their showers this weekend. So this is my progress. I know I'm going to be able to get it done. Here we are. I'm using a free pattern from, I think, Drops. I'll link it below. I'm doing the size for like up to a 12-month-old. And I just got like some really light blue yarn from Michaels. I wanted it to be washer and dryer safe for them. I don't think they like, you know, do a lot with handmade things necessarily, so I wanted it to last and like be able to be used. So that is my project for the week I need to finish, and then she wants me to do like the chain stitch embroidery, and it says hello world, so I'm nervous about that part. That might be a headache, but I know I'll get it done. So that's pretty much it for knitting. Spinning. So for Tour de Fleece, I had planned on doing a 4-ounce braid, a 5-ounce braid, and then a 16-ounce sweater spin. And those bags are actually 110 grams, so it's a little over 16 ounces. I did not make it to my 5-ounce braid, but it's all prepped and ready, so I need to definitely like give my shoulder and hands a little break after spinning so much. But then that's gonna get spun up. So I showed this before. This is my Yarn Jam Shanico tweed that I started the tour with and did like a double draft. It's very subtle, but I'm excited to like knit this up. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. And then my big spin was my sweater spin. So I still have a little bit of yarn to ply, but this is what I got done during the tour, and I feel like this is for sure at least like 100 or 16 ounces. This is my sweater spin. So I'm thinking I want to make the new Lakes cardigan. It's like a DK weight sweater. I have the Lakes pullover that I made last year and I really love it. This all has like really fun yarn waist little pieces through it, so there's like lots of fun bright colors, and then it's that light gray and dark gray that I marled. It really reminds me of my first sweater. I used Brooklyn tweed. I don't remember the base, but it was an Andrea Mowry Weekender sweater, and I used the yarn she used, so it was like that light white or off-white and light gray barbered yarn. So I'm super excited to have like a nice neutral. I think it's going to be a cardigan. That's what I told myself. I think I'm going to stick with it. I need to wash it, get my stats and everything. I think I'll probably end up getting like a Surrey lace to hold with it, just to like bulk it up a little bit, because I feel like we're kind of on a thin DK to sport weight. So we'll see once I kind of swatch, get this washed, all of that. And then I do have this little guy left over, so I need to spin him too. And then fiber wise, I did launch my Etsy shop that I talked about last week. It's Gemini Fiber Co. I gave away a braid this past weekend through Melly Knits for her like Wheel of Whoop or Fortune or whatever. She did weekly giveaways during the tour, so I offered one of my braids, and I'm getting that mailed out to the winner this week. Super excited. I also got stickers in. I don't think they were here last week, so they're like holographic, which I love. Like holographic neon for a pretty like neutral person. This is like, I love this kind of stuff. So very excited about these. I think, you know, for the rest of the summer, I'm gonna try to finish up this tank top. I have a couple sweaters that need like some fixing. One, like the sleeves are just way too long, so I'm gonna reknit those so I can wear it more, because I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's a hand spun sweater. So that's gonna be on my to-do list. I also have a sweater I made last year that I made a little shorter than I probably wanted it to be, just so I could wear it for like a weekend getaway. So I'm gonna lengthen that. And then my Lakes sweater, the sleeves are like really big, and I don't know, I just don't love how they turned out. So I think I might try re-knitting those also. And then I need to start thinking about, you know, my fall knits. What do I want to make? I think I want to do another like knit tee. I wear those a lot in the fall and spring. and I have some yarn that I could use for that. So I need to kind of like look at patterns. I'm kind of thinking of buying Andrea Mowry's new Rhinebeck sweater pattern and making it short sleeve, but we'll see. I might want more of like a muscle tee style. So I do own her Weekender Crew, which I think would be fun short sleeves. So maybe that will be what I make, and like size down so it's not too oversized. I want it like more fitted. And I did get some new fabric. Let me go grab that. Okay, I'm back. So the other weekend we were up in the Twin Cities, and in Brooklyn Center there is a store called SR Harris, and it's like a big fabric warehouse, and everything is like half off of retail pricing. So we went up there. We did not have a lot of time, so it was pretty stressful. And I didn't really know what I was looking for, but I was like, okay, let's just like walk through. I'll try to skim, see if anything catches my eye. And I wanted to like, you know, try some new things that I hadn't sewn with before. Okay, so I got this really fun, like, I don't even know, pastel chartreuse yarn fabric, I would say. I did not think about taking photos of the labels, which I really should have, but it's got some nice stretch to it. It's nylon. Okay. Sid Graham has a new shorts pattern coming out, and I really want to make a pair of like hiking shorts with this, and finding either like rickrack, or I don't know a lot about like embellishing hand sewn items, what works, what doesn't, but one of the options for her pattern has like contrast stripes on the side, like very classic workout shorts look. So I do want to add something down the sides for these. And then I got this, I think it was like a stretch twill maybe, but like a nice heavy bottom weight, not like overly stretchy, but it's just got like a little like give to it. And like I was saying last week, I have a color palette. I stick to it. This completely matches, you know, my walls in this room basically, but I'm thinking I also might make the Sid Graham Lane pants. I was just watching her latest YouTube about her like most worn self-made items, and they just looked like a perfect like classic pant, like straight leg, but like loose fitting. So I think these would get a ton of wear this fall and winter, so I'm really looking forward to making those. So those are kind of like up next. I still have some other fabric that I've gotten over the summer that I need to like use, make plans for. We've been so busy on the weekends, and that's when I'm able to sew. Just with how our house is like set up, I have to set up in our kitchen, so not really practical to like have it set up all week when I'm not here to use it. But hopefully this coming weekend I'll be able to sew some more. And yeah, I think that is all for this week. It's a little bit shorter of a video, but hopefully now that Tour de Fleece is over, I'll have more time for all my other crafts, and we'll have some more finished objects to show you next week. If you are enjoying these videos, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, you know the drill, but I'm having a lot of fun sharing what I'm making, and hope you're enjoying these. So I will see you again in 2 weeks. Have a great day.